Are y'all ready for round one? Come on, make some noise. Let's count them down to the first match of round one. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, Tetris.
Here we go.
Yeah, quite a crazy lineup here for our first four. Up top, we have Noe and Burb. Burb, who upsetted Cheese in round 0 to make it here. And then we have Coffee and Fractal down at the bottom.
Yeah, Noe has improved significantly over this past year I assume they're going to bring their A game here and be a threat to move forward against Burb Wizard.
Yeah, now we won the few players in the bracket actually representing Mexico here.
Yeah, absolutely. Not too many international players this year, but now he is one of them representing Latin America.
Yeah, so it looks like all across the board, there have been some complexities that have developed on Fractal and Noe's side. And this isn't a Tetris for Noe if the long bar does come.
All right, Tetris for Coffee.
There we go. We were just about even down at the bottom. Noe just needs to get the left side tuned up a little bit. That hole in row 2 is really annoying.
Yeah, they're going to have to either clear... I like this approach, too, just creating multiple burns on top to open up that well for a few pieces here. Turn Chalky out.
And we got quite the drought developing here up top. Eyepiece was not able to be used for a Tetris for Burb, but Noe was be able to utilize that. Roughly a 60,000 point lead for Burb and a 16,000 point lead for Coffee down at the bottom. Fractal's going to take that and make it only a 5,000 point lead.
Yeah, nothing too crazy so far. Some players had navigated through some burn situations, but really the biggest lead here is Burb Wizard up on top against Noe. Yeah. But,
and, you know, this early in the game, that lead could just disappear in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, especially with the caliber of skill here today. This just feels like, you know, almost feels like a warm-up that we're watching. And
yeah.
as, like, we have 3 rollers on the screen right now, and all of them can play into that post-level 29.
I mean, we have Fractal, the first player to reach colors on any kind of version of Tetris, NTSC or POW if you want to include them both. So Fractal, you know, the first person to, you know, reach glitched colors.
Yeah, and Fractal being our #1 seed today is a threat to win the whole CTWC. But we'll see what Coffee can do. Yeah. Coffee so far keeping that about nearly a 2 Tetris lead.
Now it looks like we are, there it is, Tetris for Fractal. Noe still hasn't really been put in a position to score Tetrises quite yet. Now finally he's able to open up the well. Just waiting for the long bar.
All right, Burb Wizard with an interesting situation. A few piece dependencies. I actually like that. Oh, okay. I thought they were gonna set up for that burn there, but another option here.
Yeah, just gonna try and bring it down. Eyepiece is gonna help magnitudes, but Noe has been able to cut the lead down to 61,000 deficit. Well, Coffee's been hanging on to this lead very adamantly.
A slight drought here for Burb Wizard. There it is. Putting him over the 60% Tetris rate.
Yeah, all these scores are actually incredibly high when you look at, you know, where we are at here in the game.
Yeah. Right. I feel like at least the pacing I used to go by, and this was in what, 2019, 2020 was, you know, 100K every 25 lines. But it seems like so far tonight people are just, you know, destroying that pace.
Yeah. And now we're looking at a potential 600K for Coffee. This is more likely to be in the higher 500s. Fractal also in the same region. Same can be said for Burb and Noe. So all players reach transition and they continue to play how efficient they are. We may see 4 players with identical transitions all across the board.
Yeah, it's a free-for-all as of right now.
Yeah,
And-
but right now, Burb, all right, able to get that piece for a burn. Needs to get that piece all the way over to the left. Still not out of it yet. And doesn't get misses the Z-spin, and Burb tops out at 386. So Noe is good for game number 1.
Now some quick thinking from Burb to go for that spin, but a very small window of execution there.
Yeah, you only have 3 frames to hit that spin here on 18. And, you know, the decision to go for it.
Exactly. That adds to the execution timing. But, yeah, now you're going to take game 1 comfortably. It's got to be a bit of a relief to take that first game in a high, intense situation with high stakes.
And down at the bottom, we are about to transition, though. And Fractal is going to transition with, or not Fractal. Yeah, Fractal is going to transition with 513, and Coffee's going to transition with 564, I believe.
Yeah, Coffee maintaining just a very small lead as of right now, but keeping up with Fractal.
Yeah, as of right now, Fractal actually set up for a column 5. And there it is. Boom, Tetris for Fractal.
Ooh.
Coffee not able to quite get that piece all the way over to the left.
Yeah, this is kind of a tricky situation. They get the long bar. Barely, it seems like they barely got it over.
Yeah, this does give Fractal an opportunity to actually take the lead following this Tetris. Boom, Tetris for Fractal. Pushing the lead higher now to 44,000 point lead. And what a simul Tetris right there.
Yeah, we got a great match going between Coffee and Fractal. Coffee wants to maintain as much of an edge or as close as possible to Fractal in this 19 to 29 stage.
644 now, make that 672 for Coffee. Down by now around 3 Tetrises here. Well, both players are on a faster game, but look at Burb.
Burb up top.
Needs to get an eyepiece over to the left. Eyepiece needs to fall. Eyepiece doesn't come in. An early top out from Burb again. So Noe takes game number 2. Meanwhile, down at the bottom, 707 for Coffee. Down by 100,000 points here. Is almost a level behind Fractal, interestingly enough. So we could actually be a lot closer.
Yeah, in reality, this is nearly neck and neck if Coffee were to maintain the same
Great
Tetris
burns
rate.
over there from Coffee into a Tetris. 774,000 now, 877. But we are nearing the second transition, level 29. Fractal's already on level 26 here. Coffee will go to level 26 following a Tetris, and boom, Tetris for Coffee down by 44,000 points. Decide to go for an adjustment, though not quite ideal, so Coffee might be going for a column 9. And there's another Tetris for Coffee. Boom. Tetris for Fractal.
Yeah, both players are dropping down the Tetrises. Another one for Coffee. Fractal has it well covered, so a little bit of a window for Coffee to get caught up. But
Coffee going to opt to go for a little bit of a conservative burn. Coffee just not getting any pieces over there for that left chasm.
There we
Finally
go.
gets it filled. Tetris ready, down by 100,000 points because Fractal is already maxed out. There's one Tetris for Coffee. 29 is nearby. And there it is. Fractal goes to 29 at 1,061,000. Fractal can try and grab one, or not Fractal, Coffee can try and grab one more here.
3 lines left for Coffee before level 29.
And all right, having to do a little bit. Oh no. Not a good board for 29, and it's going all in on this last Tetris.
There it is.
And there it is, Tetris for Coffee. Going to get the max out, but Fractal is going to take it with a 1.15.
Great start for Fractal in this first game of this hopefully long set.
Yeah, that was an incredibly competitive match. I mean, when you consider how close they were at transition, even how close they were going around level 26, it wasn't until Coffee kind of ran into that issue, not getting the right pieces to fill that chasm, that Fractal was able to build some amount of separation.
Right, Coffee was maintaining a very, very strong 18, and I mean, they did hit the max outs. Like they brought a good game, but they're going to need to bring a little bit extra. Meanwhile, up top, Burb, not with the start they were looking for with these two 18 top outs, but we saw how Burb played earlier against Cheese, and they can bring it.
Yeah, I mean, this is Tetris. Anything is possible.
Right.
And in this particular match up top, we're only separated by, you know, a Tetris worth. And we have our start at the bottom as well.
Now we're with that double well. Pretty conservative build from Nowie to maintain that Tetris well.
There it is, Tetris for Noe.
Tetris for Burb.
And we are close, separated by exactly a double's worth in points.
And they're 2 lines away.
Well, it has to be double. Well, now it's 2 lines. And there we are. We are tied up top, and both players are going to knock down a Tetris. I mean, you can't get any more neck and neck than this.
Tied up.
335 to 335. And the way that both players are stacking, they're going to knock down a boom Samo Tetris.
Oh, my God.
Burb is going to have to take a few burns, so Noe is going to be able to knock down a Tetris. Gonna break the tie, sadly.
They're even on the same piece. Oh, roughly.
Yeah. A little indecision over there from Burb. Gonna have to do a couple of burns. You know, down at the bottom, 144 for Coffee and 147 for Fractal following that Tetris. Coffee not necessarily in a position to score Tetrises just yet, so has to do a little bit of burning.
Yeah, that LJ piece combo is going to be perfect for Coffee to maintain, or get back to a clean board, rather. And now set up for a Tetris. Coffee's also 5 lines behind, so that Tetris will bring him back in line with Fractal.
Yeah. Burb now finally back into a position to score Tetrises. Noe has just been keeping an incredibly clean stack here. And Burb just not really getting like good pieces to try and go for consistent Tetrises. There's always something that's kind of preventing Burb.
Yeah, they set up that overhang, which had a lot of pieces that worked with that. I think they got the worst piece in that situation. But Burb does drop a Tetris. They're going to go for the row.
Yeah,
it looks like they're bringing it down a little bit, yeah.
We're nearing the transition here. Noe now with a 3 Tetris lead. And Noe's actually going to bring the stack down in preparation for transition.
Yeah, only 10 lines away for Noe before we hit level 19 speed. Noe with a 73% Tetris rate with a great start to this game. Looking to close it out.
Yeah, it might be our first sweep, but we'll have to see. And ooh, a couple of overhangs. Oh, set up for a T-spin? Yes, we're going to get a regular T-spin.
Oh, that T misdrop could spell trouble. There are some like horizontal burn options here with that long bar.
Yeah, having to use that long bar though, and Burb is able to use it for a Tetris. Transition at 505.
Boom.
Boom, Tetris for Burb. 529 to now 581. And, you know, that kind of was a massive window of opportunity for Burb, allowing her to essentially be within now only a 2 Tetris gap as opposed to needing 4 Tetrises to be tied.
Yeah, Burb on their last life. They need to do their best to survive. And on top of that, throw down some Tetrises, which they're doing a great job of so far.
Nice tuck over there for Burb, and boom, Tetris for Burb. 605 to now 660. Down at the bottom, we are still relatively close. 351 to now 392 for Coffee and Fractal, respectively.
Oh, I like that roof burn from Nowie. There's a few options. There's a spin tuck option, but very great play from Nowie there to set up that burn.
Yeah, 719 from Nowie, 687 from Burb. So Burb closing the gap slightly. And it's actually behind in lines, too. Forced to take that double. And this drought is not helpful at all.
With that being said, they had a high left and a pretty
and a
safe.
dirty Tetris for Burb.
Let's go.
I mean, that's the best way, or the most efficient way to dig is with a Tetris.
No better way to do it. And both players have a great board, encountering a small drought.
And there it is. Boom, Tetris for both Burb and Nowie. 787 and now 758. Burb now Tetris ready is going to knock down another Tetris. Now we're only separated by 4,000 points. Now he's going to knock down another Tetris though. But Burb is also slightly behind in lines. There it is. Boom, Tetris for Burb. 820 now 822.
Wow. Extremely close matchup.
Tetris for Nowie goes up back to a 33,000 point lead. And there it is. Boom, Tetris for Burb. Now separated by 1,000 points, but now he's going to bring that back up to a 33,000 point lead. But then Burb cuts it right back down. And then Nowie builds it right back up. 920 for Nowie and 887 for Burb. Burb's going to knock down another Tetris. This has been back and forth here. Burb just can't find an opening. But now he sets up a long bar dependency there in the center. This is an opportunity for Burb. And Burb is ready to capitalize. Where's the long bar? He's ready to cash in that check for 30,000 more points. Waiting on the long bar. Long bar going on an extended vacation right now. Where's the long bar? Oh, has to do committing to Burb. And covers up the well right as soon as the long bar comes. But there's another one. Tetris for Burb. But max out for Nowie. 1,028,000 to now 1 million. We are reaching level 29. Both of these players, as you can see, are rollers. One more Tetris left for Nowie. Burb can try and squeeze 2 more out here. There it is, Tetris for Burb. Nowie holding out for this last Tetris before 29, and this board is starting to get this dangerous, and we're running into a drought, and now he's in trouble. Now he needs to get pieces and try and open up the well, but it's not gonna happen. But same thing's gonna happen for Burb. Burb trying to do it, and now he's gonna take game number 3.
That set came down to the wire, but Nowie taking it by just under 1 Tetris.
What a game, because I mean, throughout the entire time, Nowie always was ahead in lines, and so Burb was just right there, just 1 Tetris away. And I really think that what would have made that gap closer was when we experienced that incredibly long drought. Burb wasn't able to use the Tetris there.
Yeah, they were neck and neck the entire time, and they both had an amazing post-transition.
Yeah, it was spectacular. Double max out, Nowie with a 1-off 1.1. And the drought was going to continue too, as you can see on the screen, 29, 28.
Right. Yeah, Nowie not getting that long bar. Both players, if that drought ended there, I feel like they would have kept going.
Yeah, but hold on, we got something going on at the bottom. Coffee now down by 134,000. Can we get Huff and Nolan to the main stage, please? Huff and Nolan to the main stage.
So meanwhile, between Coffee and Fractal, we have a very comfortable lead for Fractal here on level 26.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, this isn't a bad game for Coffee either. Fractal is just playing incredibly well here.
Yeah, just about to max out here with if they find 1 more Tetris.
Just waiting on the long bar, and there it is. Max out for Fractal.
All right, Fractal encountering a drought. There it is, long bar for Fractal into a Tetris.
1-off 1.1 and Coffee, with a hang to the left. And needs perfect pieces to really navigate through this. And Coffee just burst of Z's here. And more Z's. RNG really telling Coffee to sleep, and Coffee's going to top out here at 889, so Fractal is good for game number 2.
Yeah, Coffee being resilient, trying to fight until the end, but Fractal maintaining a very comfortable lead and a strong performance here in this round 1 set against Coffee.
All right, we got to start over here for Fractal and Coffee. And Coffee already having to do some burns. In fact, that burn, I believe an S-spin is actually ideal to burn out of that in the most efficient way.
So, Sharky, how do you think, what is it going to take for Coffee to come back in this set against Fractal, who is just bringing these constant 1.15s?
I mean, Coffee's going to have to do his best to essentially match and surpass Fractal's efficiency here in the early game. Because, I mean, the thing is, Coffee isn't playing bad. Coffee's having amazing games. It's just Fractal is just playing just that more efficient. And, you know, these are scores that Fractal is achieving into level 29. Very minimal level 29 play has been displayed here.
Right.
So Coffee just has to try his best to try and match and exceed Fractal's efficiency here on the early post and pre-transition. Yeah.
Yeah, they need to maintain a very strong Tetris rate on level 18 if they're going to stand a chance against Fractal.
Coffee has gotten the board under control.
Coffee's Tetris ready, taking some burns halfway up the board. Drops 2 Tetrises.
Fractal 192, Coffee 127. Just really good start over there for Fractal.
Yeah, Fractal maintaining an 80% Tetris rate. Showing that they are the one to take down today. One of the few.
I mean, one of the many.
The few, the proud, the CTWC 2022 gold bracket.
Yeah, but right now, Coffee also slightly behind in lines, and that is a delayed Vits from Fractal. Fractal needs an eyepiece to tuck underneath it. Gets one. Does Fractal get the long bar, though? Waiting on it. And the long bar sure is taking his time.
Yeah, this is a... Okay, finally get that L piece.
I think the long bar got stuck in the elevator.
Or the J piece, rather. And setting up some more burns on a drought. There it is. Tetris for Fractal. Coffee ready and waiting.
Now, Coffee having to run into, you know, the same drought because we are on same piece sets. So, I mean, that's kind of, you know, one of the brutal things about same piece sets is, you know, you have, the only way you can increase your score and relative to your opponent's score is to capitalize on the long bars they do not.
Right, and if you have an opponent that is just very consistent and you have that same piece set, like, it's going to be very hard to catch up if they're just nailing the same Tetrises that you're nailing on the same frequency.
Yeah, that's why, you know, all parts of the game are, you know, very important, especially, you know, your opener, because sometimes, you know, players, they have a really rough opener, and in this case, it led to Fractal having around 131,000 point lead. All right, so we have Nolan and Huff at the top. You know, Huff, another one of the players to beat.
Yeah, Nolan hailing from Cincinnati, Ohio. Yeah. Made it out to the Ohio qualifier. As well as Huff, who I believe Huff has won both Ohio qualifiers 2 years in a row.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
And Fractal now up to 155,000 point lead. This is a really good game for Fractal. We're looking at 600K transition possibly. There's Boom Tetris for Coffee.
Man, Fractal is looking unstoppable right now with that 150K lead on 18.
I mean, it all kind of just started with you know, a rough opener that Coffee had. Coffee wasn't in danger at the beginning of the game. Oh, beautiful setup right there over there for Fractal. But Coffee wasn't in any danger at the beginning of the game. It's just Fractal was able to build up a 60,000 point lead then. And then over the course of the entire pre-transition, that lead just continues to expand.
Yeah, 600K transition here for Fractal.
And accidentally rolled a little bit too far, intentionally set up the T-spin, so could try and go dirty here, but no, just gonna burn it down. Up top, Nolan having some complications, and Nolan one of the few players that has been tapping here in CTWC. And the hang. Nolan now switching to rolling, only able to get the long bar over.
Wow.
And that just shows like, didn't go for the burn.
They find 2 burns with their option they took.
And an accidental double rotation. Or maybe it was intentional. Still, the hang, not just a little bit short.
Oh.
Going for the flat burn, doing the best. Nice, look at this down stacking by Nolan.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. Still not out of yet. There's a nice double. Throwing pieces left and right. Abe just needs a couple more. Not gonna throw the T piece all the way over to the left. And look at that, burning a double. What a survival by Nolan, swapping from tapping to rolling mid-game, almost at the point of being topped out.
So in case you didn't know, Nolan is now showing that they are a strong roller and able to bring it here in the kill screen.
And then goes back to tapping. But now Fractal having to do a similar situation, but this time on level 23.
Oh yeah, this is a tough situation for Fractal. We'll see if they can make their way down.
Yeah, but this is great for Coffee. Coffee is able to utilize this opportunity to knock down Tetrises here. But Fractal is almost out of it. And all those squares just being dumped over to the left. Still waiting on ideal pieces, goes for a tuck. Wow. That's a triple, not a Tetris.
Great decision making from Fractal to work through that.
And just like that, Fractal's clean still has around 140,000 point lead. Make that 179,000 following that Tetris. But it's also 2 levels ahead. Coffee, nice little T-piece adjustment over there. Still trying to fight back here. Another Tetris for Coffee. Fractal at 831. And this would be a back 3-back max if Fractal is able to max off on this one.
Yeah, Coffee's going to need every Tetris they can get here. Sitting at that 54% Tetris rate. Still a little bit behind Fractal, but they have some lines to cover. Nearly 20 lines behind.
Fractal opens up the well. There is another Tetris for Coffee, now down by 100,000 points. Fractal's gonna bump that back up to 136,000, still behind by 2 levels, so Coffee could actually have close to Fractal's score going into 29. The efficiency is there, boom, Simul Tetris. 839 to now 949. We just reached transition up top for Huff and Nolan as well. Fractal goes to 29, just under a max. Coffee having to take a couple of burns. And that triple as well, bring the stack down to safety measures. And the hang! And Coffee's not gonna be able to get an eyepiece over. So Fractal is gonna take the sweep and gets the 3rd max out as well.
Great try from Coffee, but Fractal is bringing some amazing Tetris play, and we'll move forward to round 2.
Now we have Nolan and Huff separated only by 2,000 points. And when you consider 2,000. When you consider the dig that Nolan had to go through on level 18, and for the game to be this close, Nolan is almost 2 levels ahead, but just amazing perseverance and tenacity from Nolan right here.
Yeah, that's where you're going to need against the Huffaluffagus himself.
And Nolan accidentally bringing that piece back. Might be swapping to rolling early here.
Not quite yet. It's going to be a pretty tight window to make that swap right now.
Yeah, but things are starting to get slightly dangerous. All right, trying to bring things down. And no, has to swap. And it's not going to be quick enough. Nolan's going to top it at 701, so Huff is good for game number 1. Can we get DMJ and Blank up to stage 1? DMJ and Blank up to stage 1. Okay. Can we get Dylan and Jerpidude over to stage 2? Dylan and Jerpidude over to stage 2.
Yes. Oh, yeah. That would be bad if we missed that, like, face. Or the survivor.
All right, Nolan and Huff getting game 2 underway.
Yeah, Nolan had a little bit of a rough start, but did show some perseverance on level 18 in game 1. So we'll see what they can do in terms of keeping it clean and keeping it a little bit closer to Huff's Tetris rates.
Yeah, I mean, considering how close the game was, you know, even with that massive dig, think about how much closer it was if, you know, Nolan didn't have a dig like that. So we can see that potential reality kind of play out here.
Yeah, Nolan definitely has the ability to bring the efficiency, so I definitely have some hopes for a great set here. Nolan with a line spin. Gotta love it.
Can we get Blank up to the main stage, please? Blank up to the main stage, please.
All right, we're hitting that 50 line mark. I'm sorry, 60 line mark. And Huff with a nearly a 3 Tetris lead.
This is a really close game as well.
Yep.
Only separated by just under a Tetris. And there it is. Nolan's going to take a brief lead.
Yeah, a very small line discrepancy, but it's like a close matchup. I wonder if Nolan will try to do anything creative there. Oh, went for the spin tuck. Didn't quite hit it. All right, Nolan gonna have to do a little bit of down stacking. Couldn't get Tetris ready for that. Meanwhile, Huff is throwing down a Tetris and is Tetris ready. But Nolan making quick work and almost found their way back to the right, but another complication has arisen.
Can we get Laser and Puppy Ball over to stage 2? Laser and Puppy Ball over to stage 2.
So Nolan's been in a dig for quite a while now. Not able to get there. Okay, finally Tetris ready. Looking for that long bar, and there it is. Tetris for Nolan. But meanwhile, Huff has accrued quite a score lead.
Yeah, he's looking at a 600K transition as well.
Oh, little cheeky adjustment there from Huff into a Tetris.
Yeah, we are nearing level 19. And Nolan, this is rather tricky to kind of deal with that. Actually going to go for the tuck. And kind of a little indecisiveness here. We are nearing the transition, so want to get the board in a more manageable position. Of course, we know when we go to level 19, Tetrises are going to start to be worth more.
Right. Looking like, okay, gets a nice J and L combo to clean up that board. Looking for that long bar. Looks like Nolan does switch to rolling, knowing that into this transition they're going to be playing a bit high. And give him a little bit of breathing room.
Those S&Zs are not ideal. Still trying to find a way. Able to get that all the way over to the left. Still not quite out of it. Throws that eyepiece over to the right. And even goes for that. Had a couple of other alternate ways to burn, but Nolan is trying to do the best to survive. Needs an LRJ, gets one, still trying to work on it, gets a T-piece, burns a single, still running out of room, and now Nolan tops out. Huff takes game number 2.
That was a great try and a nice preemptive swap to rolling, knowing that potential complications would occur.
Puppy Ball, please come to stage 2. Puppy Ball, please come to stage 2.
Looks like we have a little bit of a warm-up happening for DMJ. And also, we just want to do a quick shout-out for Tetris for once again sponsoring our 10K prize pool.
Yeah, allowing us, have somewhere a baseline to start and, to increase that prize pool to, the eventual, 25,000 that we have our goal at, which if you want to contribute, type !Matcherino in the chat. We're aiming for 25,000, and by doing so, these players, or rather, whoever wins this tournament, we get paid $10,000. And every single player that qualified for gold will walk away with some cash as well. So it's not just for the first place player. Other players get to get rewarded more through your contribution as well.
Yeah, it's much less of a loss, and you'll feel better if you have a little cash in your pocket for getting 64th.
Yeah, we'll cover, half a night at a hotel here.
Sounds good to me.
But yeah, Nolan is in a must-win situation to at least keep the set going. Of course, if Huff wins this, Huff will be another person in our top 16 tomorrow.
Oh, Nolan stacking for a pretty high Tetris here. Oh, gets the long bar.
And boom, dirty Tetris over there for Nolan. Nolan actually holding on to a small lead here. So much better opener for Nolan here in this game.
Yeah, the aggressive tendencies of Nolan was paying off there with that dirty Tetris and maintaining a very minimal lead here, nearly a Tetris lead against Huffaluffagus. Mr. Luffagus. So a much more steady start here from Nolan. Nothing too crazy out of the gate.
There aren't any crazy digs that require a swap of the grip just yet.
As intended.
And we are actually separated by half a single. Well, now Tetris and half a single. It's actually a bizarre way in order for you to try and tie half a single.
Tetris for Huff. Nolan finding a tuck into a Tetris, and it is nearly tied.
And we're going to have our match at the bottom between Blank and DMJ get started. And, you know, the winner of both of these two, or both of these, the winner of the top side and the winner of the bottom side are going to face each other in top 16.
Yeah, so, yeah, the top 16 is going to be absolutely crazy in terms of skill level.
Yeah. I mean, even in, you know, what we've seen so far in just round one or round zero, like, it's been nothing that we've seen before at any CTWC.
Yeah, and on top of that, there's only been, has there been a sweep yet? Was there a sweep? There might have been that one. There might have been one now, but nearly no sweeps and some great games between all of these players in round zero.
Yeah, these games have been competitive.
I guess Practical Coffee.
Yeah, 387 for Nolan and 428 for Huff. Huff, you know, starting to pull away here. Just able to find some Tetrises while Nolan is just getting the stack into a Tetris-ready position.
Huff finding 2 J pieces, then 2 Ls to fill out that left.
And Blank is actually in a little bit of trouble. Blank, oh no, accidentally tapped a bit too fast, going for a couple of flat burns. Might be able to navigate through it. Doing all the right moves. He's getting that piece over and hangs. And Blank is going to top out. So yeah, that is a confirmed top out. So DMJ does, in fact, take game 1.
123, 120. Approaching the transition here on the top game. Nolan with a much stronger start.
Yeah, right now, Huff actually having to do just a little bit of burning, so Nolan has an opportunity to close the gap, make it only a 1 Tetris differential, and going into level 19.
Yeah, I'm actually excited to see how this post-transition is going to end up between these two players.
And there it is, boom, Tetris for Nolan, and another boom, Tetris for Nolan. 542 here, in the middle of level 19. Huff going to grab one more transition with a 564. Knock down another one as well.
Huff has had some incredible stacking this entire set so far, barely finding themselves into any tricky situations.
That's what you're going to see from these top players. I mean, a lot of these piece sequences, they're not naturally easy to deal with, but these players have such creative and fundamental ways of dealing with these issues that it make it seem like it's just effortless, and they don't find themselves in trouble.
Yeah, they make it look easy, but if it was easy, I would hopefully, you know, compete.
I mean, if you think this looks easy, you know, go ahead and get on Tetris Effect Connected and try a classic score tag. Be
sure to try out Enhance's Tetris Effect Connected if you think it looks easy.
But 716 for Huff and a 730 for Nolan. Huff is going to knock down another Tetris, still very competitive. And oh, Nolan actually going for a column 3. And it's going to knock it down and transfer back over to the right side.
Yeah, great game up here on the top. Huff dropping a few more Tetrises. Nolan is ready and waiting. There it is.
Boom, Tetris for Nolan. 819 and now 831. Huff now in need of a couple of pieces to try and get Tetris ready, but same can be said for Nolan. So Huff is actually going to be able to get cleaned up faster. Nolan now forced to place that long bar on the right-hand side, putting a lot of weight on that existing hole.
A rough situation here for Nolan. Does find a nice burn. Actually gets some great pieces there.
Yeah, perfect. But Nolan's starting to fall behind. Huff has just been maintaining a clean stack.
Yeah, Huff hasn't dropped a beat. Kind of reminiscent of that Coffee versus Fractal set. You know, Fractal and Huff so far just showing such consistent play.
Right now, Nolan down by 86,000 points. Huff has already taken 2 games out of the set, so Nolan is going to have to work some 29 magic here. Or we can see something happen on Huff's side that allows Nolan to catch up before we go into 29. There it is, maxed out already for Huff. Nolan only a couple of Tetrises away, but another Tetris for Huff. This is 1.1 before 29 territory.
Oh, yeah. And, you know, Nolan is on max out pace. They're putting on a good game, but Huff is just bringing near perfect Tetris play.
Nolan now, gonna actually pass up on the Tetris. Trying to get a couple extra points before 29. And there it is, Tetris for Nolan. Now rolling here, down by 75,000 points. Both players here on 29. Huff not able to quite get that eyepiece all the way over to the left, but all the pressure is on Nolan. Nolan's starting to build up a little bit high. Oh, hangs that piece in, hangs again. And that's going to be it. Nolan tops out at 1,022,000. Huff takes game number 3 and advances.
Good game. And yes, Huff will advance to play the winner of Blank and DMJ here on the bottom.
Up next, coming to stage 1, Pixel, Andy, and Redshirt. That's right, up yet next, your next match here on stage 1 is Pixel, Andy, and Redshirt.
Exciting matchup. All right, so Blank with quite a comfortable lead here against DMJ on game number 2. DMJ is 1 game up after that early game complication from Blank, topping out at 123K.
Yeah, DMJ actually one of the players that is essentially mastered all play styles. Has a max out with dash, tap, and also rolling.
Yeah, that's pretty respectable and just shows the adaptability of some of these players when it comes to.
And you can actually see DMJ is using dash right now, but on the faster speeds, will swap to rolling.
Yeah, because on 18, if you feel comfortable with dash, or more consistent rather, you just want to bring consistent scoring on 18. And you know, for some players, it could even give you a break on your hands. Blank with a tricky board right now. Finds the far left with that long bar. Set up for a dirty Tetris. Opting to burn through it.
Nice burn right there. Would love a T-piece or even a J-piece to go for a split double. There's a T-piece into a Tetris, and Blank holding on to a small lead here.
Yeah, pretty strong 18 from Blank. Looking like they're gonna, with a few Tetrises, hit the around the 540 mark.
There's 516. One more Tetris for Blank is gonna put Blank at 540. DMJ at 489 here. So we are off to the races. Oh, small complications for Blank. And actually, I love that T-piece placement. What a way to find an efficient way to navigate through that misdrop. Excellently done by Blank.
Yeah, I like the use of, you know, building against that one floating block there to just create a single burn and go right back into that Tetris.
And Blank, because of just that efficient, I wouldn't even say it was too much of a dig, but the efficient solve, was able to, you know, hold on to this lead up against DMJ.
So yeah, Blank maintaining a minimal lead here, nearly a 2 Tetris lead.
right, we're about to get started up top. And there we go, Andy versus Redshirt, who indeed is wearing a red shirt.
As you can see, DMJ is now rolling in the bottom right.
670 now for DMJ and 760 for Blank. And couple of rough pieces over here for Blank, but also has a bit of a cushion. 95,000 point lead. That's nothing to sneeze at.
No, not at all. You know, both players can play into the 29, but you know, any cushion you can get at this level will be will put you in a comfortable position.
There's 714 and now 813. Blank almost back in position to score Tetrises. Another boom Tetris for DMJ, down by 70,000. And that's going to be an early top out from Redshirt.
Oh,
Didn't
wow.
see what happened. So Andy is good for game one.
Tetris for DMJ. Going to need these late level Tetrises to get caught up to Blank's lead here. Blank is in a bit of a digging situation, so these Tetrises that DMJ is scoring currently will possibly put them in the lead.
Yeah, DMJ has closed the gap now.
Yeah, they skipped out on that triple that was pretty accessible in favor of some high burns to maintain that Tetris well.
Yeah, DMJ actually behind in lines and only down by around a Tetris and a half. Blank is set up, so is DMJ. So, oh, nice adjustment right there for DMJ to knock down two quick Tetrises, and now we're separated by 12,000 points. Both with players, one Tetris left to go. Blank is going to Tetris 980. DMJ is going to Tetris 965. Down by 18,000 points here on 29. Blank able to throw pieces over to the left. DMJ now down by 16,000. And Blank's running into issues, going for as many flat burns as possible. DMJ's going to go for a massive triple right there. Only needs 4,000 more points. 3,000. Might try and do it. There's 2,000, 1,000. One more line should do it. And DMJ takes game number 2.
GG. As we mentioned earlier, if you thought this game was easy, you can try it out on Tetris Effect Connected, developed by Enhance. Try to name a platform that TEC is not on. They have it available on Nintendo Switch, Steam, PlayStation 4, PlayStation VR, Oculus Quest, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, Windows 10, Epic Game Store. If you can guess this last one, I'd be quite surprised, but
Amazon Luna?
Yes, the Amazon Luna. Congratulations, Sharky. But yeah, if you're looking to find some more competition or get in this competition for yourself at home, be sure to try Tetris Effect Connected. And there's a Honda Cup tomorrow open to the public if you're looking for to nab some of this prize pool. Especially while all these CTWC players are here. That's your chance to score some money.
Not only that, if I'm not mistaken, Tetris Effect Connected is on the Game Pass.
Oh, that's correct. Yes, Xbox Game Pass.
So if it's your first time using Game Pass, you can play Tetris Effect Connected for $1.
Definitely worth that $1 if you're a fan of Tetris.
Give Classic a try. Classic score attack on Tetris Effect Connected. Once again, thank you, Enhance.
Okay, looks like we have a bit more of a stable start here on the top. So Andy and Redshirt are about halfway through 18.
Yeah, Redshirt actually being a bit more efficient. Misses the S-spin, though. So going to be a couple of burns. Andy not really in a position to completely capitalize. It's going to be in need of a J, and there it is. Andy is now Tetris ready, but same can be said for Redshirt here. And now down at the bottom, DMJ with a 33,000 point lead. You know, the thing was, you know, in the last game, Blank actually had a very impressive lead up against DMJ early on. And it was just, I think that one adjustment that was made. Oh, no, another top out from Redshirt.
Oh, no.
And he needs to chase down 320,000, which is still very doable.
Yeah, Tetris and some change. DMJ on the bottom with a pretty comfortable 2-game lead against Blank. But yeah, it really came down to that kill screen. Blank was having trouble. I think they topped out on level 30. Yeah, running into a lot of situations. But
I mean, it was not only just, you know, that kill screen, but there was that one adjustment that was that one adjustment that allowed DMJ to get essentially 3 Tetrises without really having to burn. But Andy is going to take game number 2 up top.
Yeah, DMJ with a remarkable J adjustment in the nick of time for that last Tetris.
Yeah, the adjustment, and then able to still get the long bar over to hit the Tetris, because, you know, doing the adjustment is the easy part. Getting the long bar over immediately right after doing said adjustment, especially on 19 speeds, that's the hard part that DMJ was able to do masterfully.
Also, if you ever do an adjustment like that, you're pretty happy with yourself and distracted from the game for a moment. So,
oh yeah, huge dopamine rush. So now both Redshirt and Blank are fighting for their tournament lives here. And we have a crazy close game here down at the bottom.
Blank did offer some pushdown points, so it looks like at one point. Or was it DMJ? It might have been DMJ.
Yeah. Just to, you know, avoid any ties. There have been players that have lost from 1-point situations. Very rare, but it has happened. And speaking about stuff that is happening, Blank now having to do some burning, and we are actually running into quite the drought here. And there it is. Boom! Tetris for Blank. Still holding on to around a 40,000 point lead.
Yeah, Blank with a comfortable 65% Tetris rate, having a great 18 so far, looking to get on the board here against DMJ. DMJ with a little bit of a misdrop, but finds a nice J-tuck right away and sets up for a long bar dependency.
Actually, 2 long bar dependencies. You know, it's already hard enough asking RNG for 1 long bar, but 2, and that could be a recipe for disaster.
Looks like they switched to rolling preemptively just in case it gets hairy.
Yeah, and that's one thing about, you know, DMJ's play, you know, even, you know, outside of CTWC related events, they have just such amazing competitive awareness. They are able to assess their stack and decide to, you know, switch to rolling in this case to, you know, prevent any, like, you know, last minute fumbles.
Yeah, they did it quite early too. That was a nice snap decision from DMJ. And they're still on it. We'll see if they switch back. But I think DMJ is pretty comfortable with their rolling. Looks like they do switch.
Yeah, but as a result of that, you know, we said that those 2 long bar dependencies were going to spell disaster. It's not quite disastrous yet, but 131,000 point lead for Blank does look pretty bleak for DMJ currently.
Yeah, against a player of Blank's caliber, you do not want to be behind by 130,000 points, but we'll see what DMJ can do in this post-transition.
Yeah, meanwhile, Andy and Redshirt just separated by a double in terms of points.
And DMJ does swap, preparing for the high speeds on 19.
Blank is going to transition at 548,000. DMJ still has 1 more Tetris left till transition, and accidental rotation. And there could have been some indecision there, because by doing that tuck, a T-spin dependency would have been set up as well.
Right.
And so, you know, it's that, like, do I want to gamble on, you know, hoping to get a T-piece, or do I try and find another way to place this?
Well, nevertheless, they found 2 Tetrises and nearly a 200K lead here for Blank, but we've seen this overcome before.
Yeah, and, you know, the most important thing is survivability. You know, 200K point lead is easy to overcome if your opponent is no longer increasing that threshold.
Right. stay alive. Hope that your opponent will run into some errors on their own and bring some aggression as well. Assess the risk.
Another Tetris for DMJ trying to close things. Blank has been having a little bit of trouble scoring much on post-transition, but now in a position to score some Tetrises, but same can be said for DMJ. Boom, Tetris for DMJ, 513 and now 687. Oh, nice adjustment on the eyepiece there.
2 long bars for DMJ into another long bar. Love to see it.
Up top, 453 for Redshirt and 415 for Andy. And Blank with a lot of complications, and this is the exact situation that DMJ needs. Blank right now fighting for survival, and if DMJ could get in a Tetris scoring position, if Blank is able to survive this, the lead's gonna be cut by a tremendous amount of points. Look at these bars, has to throw it all the way to the left, gets it over just barely.
Wow.
Another Tetris for DMJ. Blank now still able to bring this down, but now that big 200,000 point lead has been cut down to only 94,000. And another misdrop in a row, several misdrops, and Blank is going to top it at 762. DMJ is good for game number 3.
Oh,
no, not yet. That is my bad. DMJ still needs 763,000. It is definitely doable, though.
All right. Yeah, DMJ has plenty of runway. Obviously, if you can get that Tetris sooner than later, you'll feel good to line out to some extent.
Yeah, but, around 2 Tetrises and a triple would do it.
There's one.
Set up for another. There's another. It's gonna need a couple more then. All right, just actually can line this out from this point. Ooh, small misdrop.
Let's get 2 more in number 2.
It's not quite there for DMJ. They need one more clear. A little hairy there, but DMJ will take the set over Blank to move on to round 2.
Can we get Dog and Tugi up here on stage 1 and Alan and L on stage 2? That's Dog and Tugi on stage 1 and Alan and L on stage 2.
All right, so meanwhile on the top, Redshirt does have a bit of a lead finally in the transition here. See if they can survive. This is a tricky situation.
And he able to cut that lead down to now only 64,000 points. And just a lot of jagged dependencies over here for Redshirt, just kind of artificially extending this dig.
Oh, nice triple there for Redshirt.
Much needed. Andy now down by only 44,000, and Redshirt still running into more complications. The survival is amazing, nice. But the lead is just getting shorter and shorter.
Oh, a few good pieces here to bring it down just a little bit, but...
And no, the hang. Redshirt now gonna have to fight even harder here. Oh. And that piece might do it. Andy's gonna take game number 3.
Andy will move on to round 2.